Hi, my name is Julia, and I figured that I would start recording some yoga session for those of you who are stuck at home during this quarantine time, which is probably all of us. For today's practice, it'll be about 25 to 30 minutes, and we'll be focusing on nurturing our low back. I know that I personally, with working from home and just sitting all day, I can feel the pain and the soreness in my low back, and I've created a sequence that helps with those sensations and helps kind of relieve that low back pain. So if you experience this, I definitely recommend trying out the sequence. So we will go ahead and get started on our backs. And as you lie on your back, bring your knees together and walk your feet out to the width of the mat so that your knees are leaning in towards each other. You can rest your hands either on the belly, out to a T, wherever feels most comfortable to you. And we'll begin by settling into the body and the breath for this practice. Go ahead and close your eyes. Taking a moment here to focus on the breath, noticing the movement in the body as you inhale and as you exhale. Noticing if you're taking shorter, faster breaths or slower, longer ones. Simply noticing, no changing. And now go ahead and begin to deepen the breath, taking longer inhales and even longer exhales. Option to exhale with the mouth closed or out of the mouth, whatever is comfortable to you. Just taking a few deep breaths here. And now as you start to feel a little more settled into the mat and ready to begin practice, slowly open the eyes. So we'll come into Reclined Cow Pose. So wiggle your feet in towards each other and you'll lift your feet off the ground, cross your right knee over the left. So your feet are being pulled towards your face as much as possible. So you can stay here and make sure that the low back is firmly pressing into the mat. If this is enough of sensation for you, you can stay here. If you'd like, you can also reach for both feet, holding on to the bottom part of the feet here by the arches, and pull your feet towards your face. And this puts a little bit more pressure on the back, allowing you to press the back fully into the mat. You can sway side to side if you'd like. And then gently release the grip, switching sides here. So cross your left knee over the right. And again, if you can't quite reach your feet, that's okay. You don't have to hurt yourself to do it. You can stay here and wiggle side to side. Feeling that low back press into the ground. And then uncross the legs, hug your knees into your chest and roll up to a seat. Coming into a cross-legged position here, nice tall spine, stacking the shoulders over the hips, the head over the shoulders. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Finish your exhale, keep the fingers reaching up. Inhale, reach the arms up a little bit more. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And lower your left hand down on the ground beside you. Reach up with the right hand as you inhale. And exhale, lean over to the left. Any amount here. You can stay up on the hand. You can come down onto the elbow. Keep pressing your right hip into the ground. And then reach your arms up. Switching sides here. Lower the right hand down to the ground. Reach up with the left. Lean over to the right as you exhale. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, keep the arms there. Inhale, reach the arms up again. And exhale, hands to heart center. Drawing the shoulders down the back. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lower the left hand to the ground. Reach up with the right. And lean over to the left. Maybe look up at the right elbow this time. Inhale, reach up. Lower the right hand to the ground. Reach up with that left hand even more. Exhale, lean over to the right. Keep pressing into the left side body here, the left hip. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll make our way into a tabletop position. In this tabletop position here, make sure to stack the wrists directly underneath the shoulders, knees below the hips. Your back is not arched or rounded, you're in a flat back. Just for a moment here, engage the core. And then on an inhale, dip the belly down, bring your gaze all the way up. And exhale, round the back. Gaze comes in between the knees or to the toes. Inhale, dip the belly down, gaze comes up, slight bend in the elbows here. Exhale, round the back. And begin to move at your own pace here. You can go slower or faster with the breath. Going 3 more times. And then lean forward, bringing your shoulders over the wrists. Bend your elbows, lowering completely down onto the ground. Keep your hands directly underneath the shoulders. Pull the shoulder blades down the back and pull the elbows towards each other. Inhale, coming into baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. This time you'll inhale for either full cobra or upward facing dog. So press the hands and feet into the ground. And inhale, coming up for your preferred shape here. And then exhale, lower down, making your way back to tabletop position. Curl the toes, come up into a plank pose. Begin to shift forward and back on the toes. Hug your navel into your spine. Stay for 3 more deep breaths. And then send the hips back for your first downward facing dog. Try to bend your knees here to support the low back. So if your hamstrings are usually on the tighter end, if your legs are usually tighter or bodies are tighter, it's nice to just give a bend to the knees so that we can allow for that flexion in the back. So really press your hands into the ground, push your chest towards your thighs. A nice generous bend in the knees. Stay for 3 more breaths. Next inhale, come up high onto the toes, bend the knees, step your feet forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. And exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as much as is comfortable. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Look up at the fingertips. And exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze is forward. And exhale, plant the palms. And from here, you can either take your vinyasa, if you're familiar with vinyasas and have it in your practice. And I'll just go straight to downward facing dog from plank. So I know if you're a beginner and trying to take a vinyasa, it can be hard to know exactly what to do and make sure that the form is correct. So on your next inhale, come up high onto the toes, bend the knees, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, fold back forward, hinging at the hips, knees are slightly bent. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the palms, plank pose. Take your vinyasa or skip it completely and make your way to down dog. Inhale, come up high onto the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Make your way to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, fold back forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, plant the palms, plank pose. And take your vinyasa or skip, go to down dog. From here, lift your right leg high and step it in between the palms. And then you'll want to step your back foot, so come up onto the fingertips. You'll want to step your back foot about a foot forward and then stay on the ball of the foot, bend your left knee. So kind of different from a low lunge. We're actually keeping a nice generous bend in both knees. And you can feel the right side of your torso resting on the right thigh. Press the fingertips into the ground. Take kind of a cow shape in the shoulders and the chest. So arching forward while your tailbone is reaching back and up. So you should feel that in the low back, that sensation. You should also feel it in the right thigh. So actively pull that tailbone and your butt back and up. Stay for 3 more breaths. And then bring your left foot to meet your right foot at the top of the mat. Bring your feet at the mat's distance. And then grab opposite elbows here. Nice generous bend in the knees. You feel the torso resting on the knees, on the thighs. And then make sure that your gaze is to the back of the room behind you rather than to your mat, so you can really let the neck go. Shake the head yes and no. You can also rock side to side. You might feel the sensation in the hamstrings here. Then release the hands to the ground. Bring your feet back to hips width apart. And then step the right foot back this time. If you need to start from the lunge, you can start there. Step that right foot about a foot forward. And then come onto the ball of the right foot. Slight bend in that right knee, making sure that your front leg is bent directly, your left ankle is directly below the left knee here. You're up on the fingertips. And again, cow shape in the shoulders and chest. Reaching the tailbone back and up. Feeling that stretch in the low back. Maybe the right leg is shaking a little bit, mine sure is. 3 more breaths. And then step the right foot to meet the left this time. Bring your feet out to the width of the mat. And then keeping your feet parallel to each other, lower your butt down into a squat, coming into Malasana squat. So as you arrive here, make sure the feet are parallel rather than toes pointed out. And you'll actively press your triceps or your elbows into the knees and your knees into your elbows. So you're feeling a bit of a push and pull action here, and really draw the tailbone down towards the ground. This is a great pose for low back stretching. And if this is too hard on the shins, you can also take it up into, what is this called, like an umpire squat? I think that's what it might be called. Or you can place a block underneath your butt for just a little bit more support and height. Stay for 3 more breaths. Then bring your hands down to the ground, sending your hips up back into a forward fold with the knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the palms, step back to your plank. And then your option here, take your vinyasa or go straight to down dog. In this down dog, you can keep your knees straight or bent, whatever feels good. If you, again, struggle with that low back pain, a nice generous bend in the knees does wonders for the tailbone, for the low back. Then go ahead and step your right foot forward into a low lunge. Come up onto the fingertips, wiggle your left toes a little bit back, then lower the left knee to the ground. Untucking the toes, bring your hands to your right knee. If you'd like, you can keep it there. You can also lift your arms all the way up, reaching up towards the ceiling, making sure, again, that you have your knee directly bent over that right ankle. And actively press the bottom of your right foot into the mat, the top of the left foot into the mat. Take one more inhale, reaching up a little higher. And exhale, lower the fingertips down to the ground. Send your hips back as you straighten out the right leg and come onto the right heel. So you'll pull your right hip back, left hip forward. And to support the low back, slight bend in the right knee here. So again, like we did in that previous pose, you'll pull the tailbone back and up, feeling that stretch in the low back, and throughout the entire bottom of the right foot, flex the toes towards the face. 2 more breaths. And bring a bend right back into that right knee. Inhale, reach the arms up one more time. And exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Curl the toes of the left foot. Step back to your downward facing dog, either knees bent or not. Then step that left foot forward. Lower the right, first wiggle the right toes further back. Then lower the right knee to the ground. Untuck the toes, bringing your hands to your left knee. Again, making sure that the left knee is stacked directly over that left ankle. You can reach your arms all the way up if you'd like. You could keep your hands on your knee. Take one more inhale, reaching up higher. And exhale, lower the hands down to the ground. Send your hips back, straightening out the left knee. Coming up onto that left heel. And again, pull that left hip back, right hip forward. Slight bend in the left knee. And reach the tailbone and the butt back and up. It's a very subtle sensation, but you can definitely feel it. Take one more breath. And exhale, come back to that lunge. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, lower the hands to the ground. Step back to your downward facing dog. And stay here for 3 breaths. And then gently lower the knees down to the ground, coming back to your tabletop position, making our way back onto our backs. So from here, we'll take a figure 4 pose. So cross your right ankle over that left knee. And then actively press your right knee away from you. Then lift your left foot off the ground. So you're pulling your left knee towards your face as your right knee is being pulled or pushed away from the face. You can clasp your hands underneath the shins or the thigh, whichever works better for you. You can rock side to side. Again, making sure you feel the entire low back pressing into the mat. And lower the left leg down to the ground. Hug your right knee into the chest. Bring your arms out to T. And then allow your right leg to fall over the left leg over to the left side. So coming into a supine twist. Gaze can go towards your right hand. Just make sure that the right shoulder is still pressing into the mat. You can allow your left hand to gently put weight on the right knee, pressing it towards the ground. And then come back to center, knees hugging in towards the chest. And then cross the left ankle over the right knee. And again here, left knee is being pushed away from you as the right knee is being pushed towards you. And then you can clasp your hands over the shin or the thigh, underneath the thigh, actively pulling that right knee towards your face. You can rock side to side. Then bring your arms out to T. Lower that right leg down to the ground, hug the left knee into the chest. And then cross the left leg over to the right side. Again, gaze comes to the left hand or to the left side so you can feel a stretch on the right side of the neck. And you can gently press your right hand into the left knee, coming into a little bit of a deeper twist. And then bring both knees back into the chest. Going into a happy baby. So arms go in between the knees and the hands grab hold of the outer edges of the feet or the inner edges, just depends on what you prefer. And you'll actively press your right knee towards your right shoulder, left knee towards your left shoulder. And then you can rock side to side. And straighten out one knee, then the other. Or both. And bring both knees back into the chest, making your way back to a seat. And then close your eyes once you're comfortable in the seat. Taking a moment here to find the breath again. Maybe doing a scan of the body from the top of the head down to the toes. Just noticing where in the body you feel some sensation. And inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And slowly exhale as you bring your hands to heart center. Tuck your chin slightly to your chest. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Namaste.